everyone, this is Raga and welcome back to my channel and welcome to this new video. I'm really sorry that it has been a while since I have posted a video on my channel. It's simply because things have been so crazy with me. There have been so many things that have been going on with me in my personal life and in my educational and professional life, and for that reason I have just been trying to cope up with everything and try to make a video, and I finally got around to making this video. And here it is. And if you guys are wondering, I'm sure you guys are looking at what's on my hand. This is not a tattoo. It is just a henna design, which I'm sure many of you know. If you're Indian or Arab or from the Indian subcontinent, I'm sure you know about this. So if you look at that, that's what this is. I did that at a camping trip that we did recently. It was sort of a jeep safari in the desert, and it was so much fun. So if you guys want to see a small video about that, just let me know in the comments bar below and I will upload a video about that and about what all I did. And if you guys are wondering why this video looks a little different, I'm sure you guys are wondering that the clarity is a little different and the focus is different. It's because I'm using a new camera that my sister gifted to me and I'm so excited about it. She gave it to me as an early Christmas / New Year's present, and I'm so excited about it, and I'm so glad that I'll be able to make better quality videos for you guys on my channel. So coming to the topic of this video, so as the title of this video suggests, I'm going to be talking about my step 1 exam experience of the USMLE. And the reason I'm doing this video now is because after making the video on my step 2 CK exam experience, many of you suggested to me and commented in the comments bar and suggested that I make a video about my step 1 experience. So as many of you already know, the reason I made the step 2 CK exam experience first was because that's the first exam I took, and I just thought that I'll film these videos in a chronological order, and that is exactly what I'm doing. So finally I got around to filming the step 1 exam experience. Now, for those of you who have not already seen the video on the step 2 CK exam experience that I had posted a couple of videos back, I'll link it down in the description box below. I hope you guys take a look at that video before you watch this one, because many of the things that I say in this video are very similar to what I say in that video. There are only a few things that are changed or that were different for me when I took the step 1. So this video is not going to be too long at all, and I'm sure I don't have to split this in 2 videos, so I will try to make it as short and brief as possible and tell you what the differences were with regards to my exam experience, my preparation, whatever. So I took around 4 to 5 months to prepare for the step 2 CK. It might have been a little longer, but with regards to the hardcore studying, I took about 4 to 5 months. I did start earlier than those few months, but that was just on and off studying. I was just reading a chapter, then I don't study for a few days. So I don't generally count those weeks or months as my proper preparation time, because that's, according to me, not proper preparation. So when I say my preparation period, I'm talking about the time that I was studying every single day, for multiple hours in a day, and really focusing and dedicating my time to studying. So that took about 4 to 5 months for my step 1. And for my step 1, as I mentioned in my previous videos, I had 2 self-assessments that came with the UWorld, and I also had 1 NBME that I took, which I've mentioned in the previous videos. I'll also link those videos in the description box. Just like my step 2 CK, I did not do any exams or practice tests closer to my exam, and I left at least 1 week before my exam for only studying and revising the things that I already studied. I did not try to study anything from NBMEs or self-assessments. I just didn't want to panic and freak myself out, and therefore I left that free. So now, talking about the exam experience itself, with regards to what I prepared to take to the exam, it was almost identical to what I did for the step 2 CK, and you will see that in that video. I took iced coffee in a little thermos. I took a sandwich for lunch. I took a granola bar with me, a bottle of water, obviously, my notes in a separate bag, which included my file and a few other loose pieces of paper. that I wanted to go through before the exam. For my step 1 exam, I made a little change, and I made sure that I had my car with me when I went to the exam hall. As I mentioned in my step 2 CK exam experience video, I let my dad drop me to the exam center and pick me up later because I thought that would be the better option. But because I did my step 1 exam in the same exact country, in the same exact pro-metric center, I knew that there won't be an area to have your lunch, and I knew that I would probably want a place where I can eat comfortably. So I decided to take my car. So I drove to the exam center. I went early. I went half an hour before I was supposed to reach there, as I mentioned even in my previous video. And there was one difference with this exam. It was a total of 8 hours with 7 blocks when compared to the step 2 CK, which was 9 hours with 8 blocks. So 1 hour of break time for both these exams, but it is 1 hour less in the step 1 exam. At least when I took it this year in March, that's the way it was. So it is a shorter exam. And with regards to what I wore, again, I wore something simple and comfortable. I wore a top with tights, and I did not take a sweater this time because I knew that wouldn't be a problem for me, and it wasn't. I didn't need the jacket, so I didn't take it with me. And I didn't wear a watch as usual. And obviously I'm not going to go in too much detail, guys, because it's exactly the same as what happened during my step 2 CK exam experience. So all the information that I'm skipping is pretty much the same as what happened in my step 2 CK. And another thing is, I was again super nervous for this exam because obviously it's so extensive. It's much more extensive than the step 2 CK. I was panicking and I was so nervous, and I felt like I'm gonna throw up. I was so nervous, and I tried to calm myself down, saying, listen, this is just the exam. This is not the end of the world. If you don't perform well here, you can definitely perform better the next time. And that's how I sort of mentally prepare myself so that my anxiety and my nervousness does not take over. So that's what I did. And once I got into the exam, it was pretty comfortable. I got in, again, a very comfortable desk and chair. There were no problems with the speakers. I started my exam, and to be very honest, when I talk about the step 1 exam, I don't know if it's because this was the second USMLE step that I took, or because I was better at controlling or suppressing my stress, but I felt I was really spot on with time management this time. I don't know if it's because of the type of questions, or if it's because I could deal with my stress better, or if it's just because I was more calm because it was my second exam. But either ways, I was absolutely spot on with time. And in fact, with many of the blocks, I not only finished it on time, but I also had time to review the questions that I had marked. You know, you have that option to put a flag, a red flag, to mark that question that you want to come back to and read again. I even had time to go through those questions. So it was so good, and I felt it was so much more relaxed, and I was not as worked up and stressed with my heart racing as much as I was with the step 2 CK. I think it's a combination of reasons. It's probably also because I have already done the process once with the step 2 CK, and I learned from my mistake in the step 2 CK, which you'll see in my video. I had missed or I could not attempt 3 of the questions overall out of all the 8 blocks. I could not do, or I did not have the time to answer 3 questions, and that really upset me. And I knew for sure that I don't want the same mistake to happen in this exam, and I took extra precaution to not waste my time on unnecessary questions that I know I will get wrong for sure. So if I came across a question that was super difficult, or even after reading the question once, I had no clue what they wanted, or what that it was even, or what they even were talking about, then I knew that wasting too much time on this question would be a bad idea, and I would move on more quickly so that I can finish all the questions, and probably the easier questions that I definitely knew, and then come back to this question and try to make more sense out of it, and maybe try to formulate an answer or come to a sound answer. I was very happy about that. And luckily enough, I did not miss even a single question in the step 1 exam. I did not leave out any questions. I was able to answer all the questions in time. I was not even rushing with time. Sometimes when you have a few seconds left on your timer and you think, okay, I don't have time to read this question, let me just pick an option. I didn't even do that. Another great thing that I really loved about the step 1 is that they didn't have those long biostats and drug ad questions, which was amazing. I did not even see one part of my exam with the numbers on the side, enclosed in a rectangle. I just didn't see anything like that, and all the questions were just theory-based questions, no biostats, no drug ads, and that really helped me because I didn't have to skip questions and then come back to them. I didn't have attached questions that I had to correlate, and I felt it was a much easier experience for me. As soon as I started my first block, I felt my nervousness completely settling down, my heart rate was going down, I felt comfortable, and I was just going in a smooth pace, not panicking, not having that cold sweat like I did in the step 2 CK. And overall, I felt honestly that my step 1 exam experience was a much better and easier experience when compared to my step 2 CK. Now, let me know in the comments bar below, for those of you who took the step 1 first and then the step 2 CK, about whether you felt that probably you found your step 2 CK exam experience better, because in that case it's probably because whichever exam you take first is always the more difficult experience and more annoying experience when compared to the second exam, where you're more well versed with how things go and you're more confident with the exam process itself and how the exam is going to be. Obviously you're more tactful at dealing with this exam situation in your second exam. So for those of you who are taking your step 1 exam, don't stress it. The main point that you should keep in your mind is keep practicing UWorld questions and try to get that pace at which you want to answer questions, because that will really help you get that time management skill which you really need for the exam. And secondly, when you are going for your exam, on the exam day itself, don't study too much. I mentioned this in my step 2 CK exam experience itself. Don't study new things the previous day of your exam. Don't try to finish as much as you can on the last day, because that's not going to help you and you're not going to cover much, to be very honest. The day before the exam, just keep it for revision, read your notes, read any questions that you have marked in the past in UWorld that you wanted to read again, some difficult topics. You can check online for any information that you just wanted to be sure of, things like that. And obviously make sure you're fully prepared before the exam so that you don't start panicking on the morning of the exam. So keep your scheduling permit ready, print out 2 copies like I did just in case for the exam. Put your bags ready that you want to take for the next day. Put the non-perishable things in there that you want to take the next day, your papers, your files. And on the day itself, try to keep as calm as possible. And that really helps you, because when you're more calm and composed, you can think more clearly. So that really goes a long way, guys. And yeah, I would say it's not rocket science. The exam is something that people take worldwide, so don't psych yourself out. I wish you guys all the best. You can ace this, and let me know in the comments bar below about your exam experience and how it went for you, and probably the mistakes that you made that you wish you had known, so that we can help others as well. It'll be nice to take a look at what you guys think about the exam as well, and let me know suggestions for future videos. The videos that are gonna come up soon on my channel are based on your suggestions, in addition to a lot of very nice videos that I've planned for you guys. Even with the things that I'm busy with right now, I am filming and recording all of that and the whole process. So when the time is right, I will post those videos as well on my channel, so that you guys can also take a look at what I've been up to and the things that are going on in my life. And until I see you guys in my next video, bye!